New cars, new rules. Do you know them? Hello and welcome to episode 52 of Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus podcast. We want to thank you for joining us, and I'm Jane Ubel, and with me today are our usual suspects, driving guru Mike Peel and our keeper of student observations, Natasha Johnson. Everybody doing good today?
Doing good.
All right. Well, Natasha, do you tell us what you have for us today?
Yes, today I have Reed from Avon, Minnesota. He said, I learned where everything is inside and outside of the car. I learned that my mom does not know a lot about the inside of her car and the new rules. I learned that you have to adjust your seat and mirrors every time you get into a car. I also learned how to set the parking brake and cruise control.
Lots of gadgets, new gadgets and such, I suppose.
That's right.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Yeah, Reed from Avon, awesome. You hit the nail right on the head because you know what? Your parents are old. I'm older. Yes, I'm even older. So we have to advance from where you jump in the car and you got this big steering wheel and you got a transmission. You had to turn your headlights on, and then the parking brake was a pedal. That's all we had in the car. Every now and they actually called them idiot lights. If a light come on in the car. But now you're right, Reed. You get in the car. We always first thing we do is adjust your mirrors, but now we have electronic cars. We have cars that if you're the number one driver and you push number one on it, you can get in there and the car will adjust your seat, your back seat, your mirrors, this and that, and then you got number two driver, you can program your car to do that. But for you ones that don't have that, like myself, yes, you have to adjust the mirror every time, rear view mirrors, side mirrors. And cruise control, yes, that's been around for a long time. But now our cruise control does everything for us, depending on what cruise you have. And here's the problem is the new adaptive cruise controls will actually slow you down before you get to a back of a car. The old cruise does not do that. That will run right into the back of a car. I love the adaptive cruise because if you fall asleep behind the wheel, it won't hit nothing. It's crazy. If you run off the road, it will stop you before you hit a tree. It doesn't stop somebody else from hitting you, but it's going to stop you. See, the old cruise didn't do that. But here's the problem that we have. Because if you know me and been around all my behind the wheels trainings and that, I'm not a cruise guy. It's a lazy way to drive. And now the danger of it is this. You got two cars. You have the adaptive cruise and you have the non-adaptive cruise. And we get so used to the adaptive cruise, slowing down, keeping your distance behind a car. All of a sudden you jump into the other car and you're just driving around. My wife's car and my car are exactly what I'm saying. All of a sudden it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And your not mindset is not even focused on it anymore because your car is always slowed down for you. And now you're in a different car. So be careful with that. I'm just saying, be careful with that. And listen, the parking brake is a key thing, guys. If your brakes ever go out, and I think we did a podcast back on this earlier, if you ever step on your brake and the pedal goes to the floor where it felt like nothing, air, you broke a brake line. Your brake fluid is spraying out underneath your car. All right. You have no brakes. That emergency brake is the only thing that is going to stop that car at that point. Okay. You need to know where it is. If it's an electronic button, you can pull it up and it actually sounds like your anti-lock brakes if you do that. And I do suggest if you do have an electronic emergency brake to go in a parking lot, go 10 miles an hour and pop the thing. Pop it. All right. It's electronic. It's going to stop you. And if you have the pedal, go into a parking lot and hold the release button as you push the pedal down. So if you're holding the release and you push the pedal, you can use it as a brake. If you
So it
don't
doesn't wreck anything?
no, if you don't hold the release and you push it down, it's just going to stop you. But if you release it, you'll go again. And if it's the lever with the button,
Yeah.
just push the button, pull up a little bit and learn how to slow your car down with your emergency brake. Not a bad idea.
Mm.
Go to an empty parking lot and see what emergency brake you have before you need it. Will you ever need it? Probably not. Probably not.
But
But
it's good
if
to
you
know.
do, 10 years down the road, guess what? You're going to like this podcast.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
That's right.
So I hate to say told you so, but told you so.
Now, I know, we have roundabouts and different things, but are there any new rules that drivers have to attend to? I just know we just had a thing about the work safety things, and I don't know that people teach it, or I don't know.
Here is what I'm going to just throw out there because I want to know what other driving school out there or driver's class out there has the Reeds of Avon, Minnesota, going out to their car and going over all the equipment of the car. Reed, I want you to do yourself a favor and go ask all your friends if they learned that in car. Matter of fact, I want you to go to your friends' parents and ask them, did my best friend ever know anything about finding everything in the car? Because I need to know because now I'm not going to ride with them. So now, ask that question because, we're pretty thorough on that
Yes.
and a lot of they're just not thorough. I mean, come on, they got things out there called driver's ed in a box for 1995.
Right.
Doesn't get you anywhere. It gets you a toy car. So but then you don't get the wheels. So you got to buy the wheels later. So anyway, uh,
Yeah. Well,
good
that's good.
comment, Reed. Just good comment. There's more than the mirrors and the cruise and the parking brakes. But to go through that list in the car and learn it. And by the way, folks, every time you get in a different car, you need to find out where these gadgets are because we have up and downs, we have twisties, we have buttons. Right now for our driver's ed car, we have a 2023 um, Ford Escape. And, man, when you turn on the defrosters, it's all electronic. It actually shows you a computer screen with air coming out of the defrosters and it shows you where your airflow is going. It's actually distracting because you have to look at the screen and then push like a computer, yes or no, or this or that, or so it wasn't, it's the way it is.
Yeah. So practicing in the seat without driving is a
Yes.
good idea for sure. Well,
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah. And I will say the whole thing about driving someone else's car, it's like one has the drive and park and everything on your steering wheel, in front, and then the other's in the middle. And sometimes you're like,
We got
oh, that's
twisties
right.
now. We got twisties and we got push button now. We got twisties where you don't even, yeah, it's crazy. The day is coming where you're gonna go drive. It's gonna be like Alexa or Siri or
Hmm.
Siri, put the car in drive and let's go. Siri, you're taking your time. Let's go. Okay, and then one more thing, Reed.
Sure.
The number one thing that we need to make sure we know in that car is where are the speeds of my windshield wipers. We don't try and find windshield wipers when we're going into a big rainstorm because that'll get you killed really quick. So,
Yeah.
Well, also, I always forget when it rained. I finally got new wind wipers, but I would be out and then it would start raining and I would use my wipers. I'm like, I need new ones. Then I get home and
Hmm.
forget. And
Yeah,
then
you
it
forget
would
when it's
rain
not
again.
raining.
And so one day
Yep.
I did and I went, oh my gosh, I can see so much better. So I'll
yeah.
just put a point out of check your, you know, windshield
I
wipers.
always feel like I have mine on too high, my windshield wipers,
Oh,
but I'm sure that's not true, but they're always
Yeah.
really going.
And quick tip for all you guys out there, if your windshield wiper is going, making all that noise, take a bottle of alcohol, take a paper towel, clean your windshield wiper rubber part off with alcohol, and you won't have to go buy new windshield
oh,
wipers.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
You heard it
I
here.
drive in
There
a
it
torrential
is. You heard
downpour
it
every
here.
day, so
Oh, I know. We've had a lot of rain, which
a
Well,
lot of rain.
there's nothing worse than when you just kind of need a couple little wipes on the windshield and the
Hmm.
windshield wipers are jumping, and
Yes.
yeah,
well, or
normally
they
it's
just mine were
99%
left a
good.
streak, which is probably
Yeah.
why I needed the alcohol for that.
99% of the time, if you just scrub them, the rubber blade parts with alcohol, that'll you're back in business.
I'm gonna
Perfect.
go do that right after this.
I
There you
know.
go.
Well, lots of good tips, Mike, and thank you,
That's
Rita, for
right.
your good observation, and of course, Natasha for finding it, and
Mhm.
so we could use it today.
Right.
And of course, we want to thank everyone for joining us today. We certainly appreciate you coming. And of course, we hope you can share our podcast with your friends and family. And of course, you can also go to YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/DriveSafeRideSafe1. And you can watch us on the screen, as well as watch a number of tips and tricks for driving safer and smarter on the roads. And of course, we love the people that are commenting about what our podcast and also giving us their stories or questions about driving, because we love to have the community, because our mission, of course, is to create smarter, safer drivers. And the more of us doing it, the better off we are. So this has been episode 52 of Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus. And of course, I'm Jane Ubel, and we want to remind you to
Ride safe.
.com.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.